How you doing? This is Melvin Brown. Welcome back to Melvin Brown Experience. Today is not going to be a topic, but today is going to be another story time. So I remember it was the year 2022, and a good client of mine's, me and her like peanut butter and jelly. She was like, "Yo, Melvin, my mom want to talk to you." I said, "All right, cool." So she gave her mom the phone, and me and her mom instantly start vibing. And she's saying, "How you doing, Melvin? My daughter be watching your videos all the time and everything. I'm enjoying your content and everything. But Melvin, can you do something?" And I said, "Ma'am, I'll do anything. I'm real cool with your daughter. What do you need?" And she was like, "Melvin, I'm going through a lawsuit right now. I have a lawsuit right now and things not looking in my favor." And I said, "How long this lawsuit been going on?" She said, "It haven't started yet." I said, "When's your lawsuit?" She was like, "Her lawsuit start within probably 8 months from now." And I said, "Okay, look, I can do what I got to do, and I'm cool with your daughter. You don't got to worry about payment." She said, "Oh, thank you so much, but I still want to pay." I said, "Okay, cool. Pay me any kind of money you want to pay me. It doesn't matter. It's going to be free." So for about 5 minutes, me and her was going back and forth like, "I don't want the money. Melvin, I want to pay you. I don't want the money. Melvin, let me pay you." So she paid me more than I expected. So I'm like, "Oh shit, she's serious." So I go to the shop, get my supplies and everything, do what I gotta do. So I give her a phone call and I'm like, "Ma'am, I'm gonna do your ritual and everything. Everything should go in your favor. Just let me know." And next thing you know, what wound up happening was I'm doing rituals, I'm doing everything I gotta do to make sure the job is done. So within probably about 14 days, the ritual was over with. So I called her and I said, "Ma'am, so how you been feeling since the ritual been going?" She said, "Melvin, I don't know what the fuck you put in the air, but I've been having a lot of weird dreams." And I'm like, "What kind of dreams?" Like, old people keep telling me, we got you. And I said, "Okay, maybe they coming in your dream letting you know that your court case is going to be a smooth transition. You have nothing to worry about." She's like, "Okay, cool." So a few weeks go by and she texts me and she was like, "Melvin, can I call you?" And I said, "Sure, you can call me. What's going on?" So she's like, "Melvin, listen, I've been to a lot of spiritual workers in my life and I never had weird dreams." And I said, It's common. She's like, "Melvin, no, these are weird dreams." And I said, "All right, tell me your dream." She said, "I had a dream. I was in the office and next thing you know, this woman came in very beautiful and we sat down and she introduced herself as Oshun." And I said, "Oshun?" She said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Ma'am, all due respect, I don't touch the ATR." She said, "Melvin, I figure you did." And I'm like, "So why is this person coming in your dream?" She said, "Melvin, I think my aunt used to practice before she passed away." And I said, "Okay, maybe your aunt probably watching over you. I don't know how to pick up on that and everything, but I keep that in mind." So let's continue. So I'm just sitting there doing me, having fun. 3 weeks before the court case happened, she calls me, "Melvin." I said, "What's up?" She said, "I don't care if I win or lose. You've been good to me and God gonna bless you." And I said, "Oh, thank you. She said, "No, Melvin, I just wanted to tell you that." See, I ain't gonna mention her name, but I'm just gonna mention her as Wink Wink. She always give me this long ass motherly lecture that I fucking need. It's feminine as hell, but it got a Rocky Balboa type of motivation delivery. So I was fucking with it. She said, "I don't give a fuck. You've been there for me, and I guarantee you, when I win my lawsuit, I'm going to take care of you." And I'm like, "Ma'am, you don't got to take care of me." Like, "Yo, take care of yourself. Like, you don't have to take care of me. I'm fine." She's like, "No, fuck that, Melvin. I got you." So, me and her had a whole conversation. I say, "Yo, your court case coming up. Good luck." So she goes to her court. Basically, everything was not going in her favor at first, and then things started to go back in her favor. The jury awarded her some money. Great amount of money. So when she told me that she was victorious and everything and how much they gave her, I was like, "Okay, congratulations." I'm like, "All right, now listen, ma'am, all due respect, I don't want your money." She paused for a little bit and she said, "Melvin, shut the fuck up. Melvin, what is your Cash App?" I said, "I'm not giving it to you." "What is your bank account?" "I'm not giving it to you." She said, "Melvin, stop being such a hard ass. Just take the money." And I said, "Don't worry about it." She said, "Melvin," I hung up the phone. Then I texted her, I said, "I apologize, but enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself." Go on vacation. Do what you gotta do. Invest. I don't care. Have a good time. You earned that. So she kept on calling me. And she left me a crazy ass voice message talking about stop running from your blessings. And then started to cuss me the fuck out. I started fucking laughing. So I ain't answer the phone that day. So 5 days later, I'm in my backyard just relaxing. All I know is I get a notification on my cell phone. You know the noises they make with your cell phone. I'm like, okay, cool. I look at it. I'm like, okay, somebody sent me an Apple Pay. I'm like, okay, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, because I had a client that was paying me an hour prior before I got this notification on my phone. And I look at it, and I just looked at it. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? My jaw fucking dropped. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I know this not a fucking glitch. But I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And then 3 minutes later, I got a fucking Cash App notification with a memo saying I'm about to deactivate this account. Enjoy yourself, Melvin. So I try to call her. It's a funny story because this shit was funny. I try to call her. This shit went on block. I try to call her through my Google Voice number. That shit went on block. Then I tried to call her daughter. Her daughter said, love you, Melvin. Bye. Click. I go outside and I look at my neighbor. I say, yo, can I borrow your cell phone? He's like, yeah. So I call her through my neighbor's cell phone. And all I hear is, Melvin, this is a fucking 215 number. We ain't stupid. Enjoy yourself. Bye. Click. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to enjoy myself. So I go down King of Prussia Mall, my favorite mall. I go in this mall and I go to Foot Locker. I buy me a new cell phone and I went a little fashion shopping. That was the best moment of my life, knowing that my hard work paid off good time. So I'm minding my business. I see a fucking jewelry store. And this jewelry store, I seen this shit on a commercial. So I went inside. Every kiss begin with K. And I'm not gonna lie, that's some expensive shit. So as my thank you for her, I bought her a nice ring that cost a good amount of money. I'm not gonna tell you how much she gave me because that's confidential, but I was good. So let's just say that whole week, I was snapping but having a good time, not going broke, but making sure I'm maintaining myself in a grooming way. So she didn't talk to me for about 3 weeks. Every time I try to call her, block, straight to voicemail. So all of a sudden, she wound up calling me, Melvin, so how did you enjoy yourself? I said, it was pretty good, man. I enjoyed it. She's like, what did you do? I said, I just bought some clothes and everything. She said, did you enjoy it? I'm like, hell yeah, I enjoyed it. She said, did you struggle? I'm like, ma'am, with the gift you gave me, I'm not going to struggle for a while. And I said, by the way, she said, Melvin, what's up? I said, since you gave me this gift, I gave you a gift. She said, oh, Melvin, you didn't have to do that. I said, no, I gave you a gift. I said, give me probably about a few weeks. I want to do a ritual on this. She said, okay, cool. Do you know my ring size? I said, no. If it's not your ring size, just let me know and just go to a jewelry store and get a size. But I'm going to consecrate this ring for you so this can be a gift. She said, okay, Melvin. She just knew for a fact I got her a ring. That was the most craziest shit ever. Like, she fucking knew. So I consecrate the ring, do what I got to do. I made sure I put it on special delivery next day air. And I made sure I use a tracker number to be sent on my email so I could just copy and paste it and text it to her. So the next day, minding my business, hours go by. I get a text message on my phone that she got the package. Now, if you ever got a package from me, it's like kind of bootlegged, look kind of rough and everything. I put so much tape over it so nothing won't happen. And I put a lot of fucking bubble wrap inside of it so nothing won't happen. So she said, Melvin, you need to work on your decoration skills, jokingly. And I'm like, I know. But at least you got your package. So all of a sudden, I knew within a minute she was going to call me. So she called me, she's like, Melvin. I'm like, hey, this is a beautiful ring you got me. I'm like, yes. She said, Melvin, how much did you pay for this? I said, if you remove the bubble wrap and everything, the receipt right there. She's like, Melvin, okay. So she opened the bubble wrap, moved the bubble wrap out the way, saw the receipt, and then she started cussing me the fuck out. Like, I told you to have a good time. Why did you spend this much money? I said, ma'am, you've been good to me, and this is like a thank you gift. I can't just receive all this goddamn money and just go on myself, because this was a blessing, but I got to give you part of it so I can be left with some. So she gave me this long ass lecture, and she said, you know what, Melvin, I'm going to start wearing the ring. Okay, cool. And she called me. She was like, Melvin, what is this ring for? I said, that ring is to cover all aspects in your life. Bring good luck, fortune, you name it. Just do what you got to do. It protects you from evil also. She said, okay, cool. So that 2002 turned into 2023. That 2023 turned into 2024. Now, 2024 was pretty good year for me. And I haven't heard from her for a long time. So stuff started shifting for the story time to happen. That's why I'm telling you the story time. So what wound up happening was my client mom calls me. Melvin, how you been? Can I get an oil? And I said, okay, sure, you can get an oil and everything. I said, what's going on with you? She's like, I'm doing good. I said, all right, cool. I'll make you an oil. She said, Melvin, here go a payment. I said, ma'am, my oil was this price. She said, don't worry about it. I said, okay, fuck it. I'm not going to fight you no more. That's why I said, I'm not going to fight you no more. She said, give me my oil. I said, okay, cool. So I made her the oil. Next thing you know, me and her FaceTiming, having a good ass time, just catching up. You know, it's like a motherly type of vibe. So what wound up happening was she showed me the ring. Like, look, Melvin, I got the ring going still. I'm like, okay, cool. She said, yeah, I still wear this ring. I said, okay, cool. She said, something in the body just keep telling me to wear it. I said, okay, well, wear it. So go off the phone with her. Now, this story time is strange. This story time is unusual. But when you a spiritual worker, ain't nothing normal. So all of a sudden, I start having unusual dreams. I keep on seeing an older woman falling down, and I'm trying to perform CPR on her. These dreams happen 3 days in a row. Same dream. So I put two and two together. I call my client mother and I say, hey, how you doing? She said, I'm doing good, Melvin. I said, look, can you do me a favor? She's like, yeah, sure. I said, look, can you get some blood work done? She's like, Melvin, did you pick up on something? I said, no. Can you get some blood work done? Can you get a CAT scan? Anything, a full checkup. I just need a full checkup. I don't give a fuck what it is. Just get your colon checked. I don't give a fuck. It's a pap smear. Get everything checked the fuck up. I keep having these weird dreams. She wound up getting the test done. Everything came back negative. Me and her had a conversation. She said, Melvin, why you keep having these dreams? I said, I don't fucking know. I'm keep having these fucking dreams. And then you the last person I talked to, and I started having these weird dreams. So clearly something's about to pop off. So she said, you know what, Melvin? Maybe it can represent something. I said, I don't fucking know. So she did what normal black people would do. If I'm fine, I'm going to get my daughter checked up. If I can't get my daughter checked up, I'm going to get my sister checked up. I'm going to get my mom checked out. They all came back healthy. A few months go by. My client sent me a picture. The ring I gave her, somehow, some way, the diamond fell out. Now, I know I didn't give her no fake jewelry. That jewelry cost about $1,300. So I know it wasn't fake. I had the receipt. She told me, she's like, Melvin, what did you put in here? Mind you, years went by. I forgot about it. I just said good luck and fortune. That's what I remember. And also protection. She was like, Melvin, I'm going to go to the jewelry store down the street and try to get it fixed. Now, I'm over here doing research and everything, find out, is it usual that diamonds can fall out a ring? And Google said it's common, but it's very unusual. So she go to this one jewelry store, not that far from her, a few miles down the road. The jewelry guy even said he been working in this business for about 30 years. Ain't nothing like that happened. So she called me and she told me even the jewelry guy was like, that's strange. And what made it even crazier, a popular rapper was in the jewelry store with her, and he said that was kind of unusual. So all of a sudden, the jewelry got fixed. Me and her having a whole conversation. She said, Melvin, something weird is about to happen. And I said, yo, something weird is about to happen. I believe that shit. We both said it, like, yo, something weird is going on. I said, yeah, something weird going on. I said, yo, you're spiritually protected. You have nothing to worry about. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. You're going to be fine. Your daughter's going to be fine. It is what it is. A month later, I'm at the fucking gym. I go back in my fucking locker. I go outside waiting for the fucking bus because I didn't feel like taking an Uber. I got phone calls back to back to back to back to back, and I was just trying to listen to a good song, and I kept on hitting end call, end call, end call, end call. She kept on calling back to back to back to back to back to back, and I'm like, yo, you know what? Fuck this. I answered the phone. When I said hello, I heard tears of joy, crying out of happiness. The cries was so real that her voice was shaking. I was scared at first, but she said, it's good news. And I asked her, what is the news? A popular DA called her and told her, my name is such and such. I'm not going to mention the lawyer name, but we all know this individual. I'm calling you to inform you that in 1988, you was SA. And with DNA testing, we finally got the people that did it. It was two individuals that did it to her, my client mom, and the sister. I'm not going to get in details. When I heard that story, when she told me everything, who the lawyer was, I was like, oh shit. Now, let's get a little deeper, which I don't feel comfortable talking about to the public, but I just want, this case right here was very, very important to me, to a point that I print out the article and hanged it on my wall. When the marshals came in there and told them what they arrested for, the suspect mother, it was two of them, so they mother collapsed and died of cardiac arrest. Now, if you listen to this story, remember I talked about a dream of an older woman I was trying to resuscitate? That dream represented the mother, the suspect mothers. Remember I talked about a diamond ring that cost me $1,300 to buy. Diamonds just fell out. Yeah, everything started to make fucking sense. So me and her having a conversation, she's crying. And you know, when people go through stuff like that, like I get a little teary-eyed too. I'm like, okay, cool. When I say cool, just best believe I got some tears coming down, but I'm just trying to play macho man. So this shit was a celebration. This shit was a hell of a victory. And she was talking to me like, Melvin, what did you put in the ring? I said, all I did was put protection, happiness, good luck. And I looked at my laptop, and I'm looking at my laptop. I'm like, oh shit. Melvin, why are you oh shitting? And I said, yo, I put a little bit of dose of justice in here. She's like, what? And I started dropping and going crazy. Like, what the fuck? You know, when people know me, you know me personally, when I get excited, I just be screaming and yelling and cussing like, oh shit, the shit fucking worked. So she had to go to court that week, but she didn't want to go to court, but she could watch it on the internet. So the lawyer assistant called her and told her, you're not the only person that person did it to. These two individuals did it to. They did it to multiple women. And one of the women wound up dying because of this shit, because she was so stressed out. So the lawyer decided to set up all the victims to meet up with each other. The victim mother, the victim that passed away, mother, was there wearing a t-shirt of the victim. My client called me and told me she was having dreams that a white woman was trying to save her. And that white woman she could identify was sadly, the victim that passed away. And I said, strange, I'm not surprised. But she was so overly shocked about the shit. I had to calm her the fuck down. And I said, look, you got your justice. You do what you gotta do. Let me know. Hours go by. As a thank you, I got a nice Apple Pay notification. I didn't fight this time. I just took it and I accepted. The suspects that did it is held with no bond and they have to go to court. And you know, when test kits, rape kits come to fruition, I don't think you could be found not guilty out of the situation because the evidence is proven. This is Melvin Brown. This is Melvin Brown Experience. I hope you enjoyed this story time. Hit the like button, leave a comment, email me. I'm out.